As a player, coach, or staff member, you must dedicate 110% of your life to the sport to succeed. But we all know that football is not the only thing in life. Sports can bring you a lot of beautiful memories, whether they come from tears or laughs. Keep watching till the end of this video to see the most emotional moments in NFL history. Tory Smith's brother, 2012. After tragedy struck, Ravens receiver Tory Smith faced a very emotional decision. In 2012, Smith's younger brother, Tevin Jones, was killed in a motorcycle accident less than 30 hours before Smith was scheduled to play in a regular season game against the New England Patriots. There were many questions regarding Tory, his willingness to play, and his emotional state. The Ravens did not expect anything from Tory, and deciding whether to play was entirely up to him. Not only did he play, but Tory Smith had many crucial plays throughout the game that would help propel his team to victory. His first touchdown would come on a pass down the left sideline from quarterback Joe Flacco. Immediately after securing the catch, Smith was surrounded by teammates, showing love and support toward their receiver. His second touchdown came from a pass inside the red zone to the corner of the end zone. And it came with great timing, as it cut the game down to one score with a little over 4 minutes left in the game. Smith would finish the game with 6 catches for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. Saints Super Bowl. The New Orleans Saints did their best to keep their heads above water. Hurricane Katrina devastated the region, and some things are bigger than football when it comes to natural disasters. The residents of Louisiana were getting hit with more than they could handle, and the football team proved to be a kind of release. Head coach Sean Payton and quarterback Drew Brees looked to help push this team back into relevancy. During the 2009 campaign, the Saints returned to the Superdome. The Hurricane forced them to play away from their home stadium during the previous season. The Saints started hot and stayed hot, finding themselves at 13-0 through Week 13. The Colts would be the ones to break that streak, and oddly enough, this is the team that the Saints would meet in the Super Bowl later in that year. With the entire city of New Orleans rallying around them, it seemed like a done deal for Brees to raise the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the game. 2 plays in this game stood out. First was Sean Payton's decision to open the second half with an onside kick. This was a very bold move, as the odds of success were a little over 5% compared to league-wide averages. But to the shock of everyone watching, it worked. Payton was able to take the ball out of Peyton Manning's hand and put it in his own team's. Brees was electrifying and efficient, dotting up the Colts' secondary all over the field, throwing only 7 incompletions the whole game. The nail in the coffin, though, would be Peyton's grave mistake. After throwing the ball across the middle, he had to watch as Tracy Porter would step in front, pick off the ball, and take it all the way to the house for a touchdown. Talk about a classic Luke G moment. This would give the Saints a 31-17 lead that would all but decide the game. For the first time in franchise history, the New Orleans Saints fans were able to see their quarterback hoist the Lombardi Trophy. And coming off of what the people of Louisiana had to go through, it made it all that much sweeter. Demar Hamlin, 2023. There are a lot of people who live and breathe football, but there are always things more important than the game, because at the end of the day, that's all it is, a game. Life is a very precious thing that many people take for granted. On January 2, 2023, the sports world was reminded of that very fact. In a regular season game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, Bills' 24-year-old safety Demar Hamlin went in for a tackle on T. Higgins. After initially standing up, Hamlin fell back to the ground and went into cardiac arrest. Trainers and medical staff rushed out to deliver CPR and got a heartbeat back before loading him into an ambulance and leaving for the hospital. This tragic scene left everyone watching stunned. Hamlin's condition was unknown to both teams, staff, announcers, and viewers. After a very harrowing hour, the game was postponed indefinitely. Players from both teams were seen visibly upset, consoling each other, trying to get updates on their fallen teammate. Hamlin went on to make a full recovery and even awarded the Bills training staff with an award for courage at the 2023 ESPY Awards. Being reminded of how fragile life is on live television in front of millions of people was a very emotional experience for everyone involved, and really reminded people where to put the importance of our daily lives. Brett Favre, Monday Night Football 2003. Brett Favre tragically lost his father the day before a Monday Night Football game against the Raiders. Favre would later go on to say, "I knew my father wanted me to play." This must have been true because Favre put on a show. He started the game with 9 completed passes in a row and didn't stop there. He had the game of his life and threw for 311 yards in the first half. He would finish with 4 total touchdowns and a little under 400 yards in the 14-7 victory. Favre was visibly emotional and being embraced by his teammates and later his wife. All other things become secondary as he used the day and platform to honor his late father. Sean Taylor, 2007. Sean Taylor is a name that seems to be synonymous with the NFL at this point. Some people may be too young to remember a time when Sean Taylor was dominating the league in Washington. His unique skill set included massive hits, which struck fear in his opponents when they tried to make a catch. It seemed like he was all over the field and could read the offense like a book. These abilities made him a fan favorite. Sean Taylor was on his way to being one of the best safeties in NFL history until tragedy struck in November of 2007. Intruders broke into Taylor's home with his girlfriend and infant in the house. When he went downstairs to see what was going on, he was shot and later died in the hospital due to blood loss and brain damage. The NFL world was shocked as one of the brightest, most respected players was taken away at the young age of 24. This had a huge emotional impact on not only the players and staff of the team, but the fan base as a whole. The Redskins would show their love and support for their teammate by coming out in a 10-man defense on their first defensive snap against the Buffalo Bills, leaving Sean Taylor's spot in the backfield empty. To do this in a regular season game where every play matters speaks volumes on how the organization viewed the great safety. Even to this day, you'll see a lot of number 21 jerseys walking around FedEx Field as the franchise makes it their mission to ensure that Sean Taylor is never forgotten. Marquis Godwin's son, 2017. Marquis Godwin experienced something that no human should ever have to go through. Marquis and his wife were expecting a baby, but unfortunately they lost their baby boy due to complications during the pregnancy. This is a heartbreaking story for this to happen to a well-known athlete. The support came pouring in. Despite the high levels of emotions, Godwin elected to play in his upcoming game against the New York Giants. In a storybook-type fashion, Godwin hauled in a deep pass from 49ers quarterback C.J. Beathard across the middle, absolutely dusting Giants cornerback Janoris Jenkins. Jenkins tried his best to recover and make the tackle, but was held off by a Godwin stiff arm. And he went down to the turf as he watched Godwin walk into the end zone. Godwin immediately fell to his knees in the end zone after pointing his hand up to the sky and appears to become emotional. His teammates surrounded him in the end zone and continued to show their love and support for their receiver on the sideline. Godwin later dedicated the 83-yard touchdown, one of his longest ever, to his baby boy and his girlfriend. So what do you think? Any emotional moments we forgot? Let us know in the comments and make sure to check back for the next video.